Doug, and he's Brian. He's Brian. And we're going to tell you 5 reasons why Moo's new NFC available business cards are awesome. Are we affiliated with Moo?
No.
Should we be?
No. Maybe.
We should talk to them. Anyway,
we should definitely talk to them. They produce lovely things.
Here are 5, not 6 and not 4, 5 reasons why Moo's new NFC-enabled business cards are pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Number 1, if you get one of these and you tap it on a phone, you should totally get a phone now.
Yeah.
It might just be as simple as, "Hey, I'm Brian Mathers." I'm not Brian Mathers. I'm not Brian Mathers.
Yeah, look, this is the Firefox Flame.
Doug Belshaw. Right, okay. Yeah. I'm Doug Belshaw, and here's my contact details. Boop. Right? I mean, that's not a good example.
Well, it's not. That's because you've been tinkering with yours, isn't it?
But theoretically, that would... Yes, another one.
Look, here's Anne Applegate.
Is she real?
She's real in my head.
Okay. Here's Anne's contact details.
Well, actually, it's the City and Guilds website. But it could be her contact details if she was real.
Are you telling me you can put anything on these business cards?
Yeah, well, pretty much, it seems.
Right, so the most boring use of these would be, "Hey, I'm Doug Belshaw, here's my contact details." Instead of having to type them in, here you go. That's the first reason.
Yes, but people have a lot of contact details these days. It used to be so simple when you just had, 3 digits to a telephone number, call London 347.
I wasn't even alive then.
And, some sort of one-line address.
Right,
but,
so the most basic use case is, "This is me, you don't need that anymore, I'll have it back, because I'm stingy. And there's my contact details, you don't have to type them in." Boom.
Indeed.
Number 1. Number 2. Brian, how would you like to be contacted?
Well, Doug. I love video chat because obviously I'm working all over the place these days, and generally with a fairly strong internet connection, and I use things like Skype and Appear In and stuff like that.
So how on earth would anyone know where your room was or what the best way of contacting you would be unless you told them?
Well, it's funny, isn't it? Because you sort of need to do it. I'm exchanging an email with somebody saying, "Hey, let's do a video connect," and it's just like, do you prefer Skype or Hangouts or Appear In or what's your medicine? And there's a dance that you do with someone to find the right sort of channel as opposed to directing them to yours.
Yeah. So I've got it's Appear.in, so it's WebRTC, so it works entirely in the browser. You don't need to install anything, sign up for anything like that. So mine would be appear.in/DJ Belshaw. And if that was on one of these cards, then you can imagine that being around someone's desk and going, "All right, I've got a meeting with Doug now. Okay, scan that, boop," and then it would take them straight into my room.
Yeah.
That would work really well. Then you wouldn't have to remember, that would work quite nicely, actually.
It would, and I wonder if you can put multiple things on these cards, where if you were in a particular app, whether it could do a video call.
I think it can fire anything, can't it? So it could even fire up like Skype and connect you, make a connection request, or...
Yeah. I like Appear In just because it is really simple, isn't it? It's just sort of browser-based.
Straight in there.
Yeah, straight in. All
good. That's
all
number 2.
So number 3, music playlists. Now look, Doug Belshaw is one of these guys that only ever listens to white noise because his version of music is beyond jazz. It's beyond classical music. It's just the void of. You see, there he is. Look, he's just in another planet. That's where all his good ideas come from. Not really. He does like to listen to music, and he probably like to share music.
I do. So can you imagine? This is like Doug's playlist of awesome music. But it's always changing because I'm always listening to different types of white noise. Brown noise, pink noise, yeah? So it would change on a weekly basis. So it might be, "Hey, Brian, have I got some music for you?" But it might change on a weekly basis. And you could like do this every week. It could be different ones for different types of music. It could be whatever. I
could see that with if you had a little sort of mixtape logo on the back.
Make it look like a mixtape.
Yeah, it's just like a card, like a really thin mixtape.
That would be amazing.
Wouldn't it? Glad I thought of it.
You didn't, I did.
Oh.
4. No, it's 8. 4. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, running an event. You could totally use these in an event. You could use them all kinds of ways. You could use them for voting. You could use them for what else? Could you use them for?
Well, yeah, Think Out Loud Club, we were always trying to think of how do you get people to engage, to try stuff out, to participate, I suppose, as opposed to, sitting back, soaking up, and not asking any questions. And I suppose this might allow you to vote.
So
on
this was
stuff.
my lanyard. It's my lanyard. I can vote. Let's say I'm a bet.
Yes.
There's
Oh,
a million. There's 11 billion exhibitors.
Yeah.
And there's the wheat amongst the chaff, shall we say?
Yeah.
And you go up and you say, actually, boop, that is amazing.
Yeah. Hot sauce right here.
Boop. Let's say it's an event where someone's speaking. It might be, because you can change these on the fly and it's instantaneous. How would that work? You're about to speak.
Yeah.
And I'm introducing you.
Yeah.
And I say, hey, your lanyard, that doubles as a link sharing thing. So if you scan your lanyard now, you'll get Brian's presentation slides. And then you could change that again 10 minutes later, etc., etc.
Or Brian, in the middle of his presentation, wants to get a little bit of audience feedback and puts a question on the presentation board or whatever with 4 options and says, right, pop this on there and it'll direct you to the right link of the
and then you can vote on your...
To be able to vote, yeah. So you
had
can change the nature of the link as you go.
That would work really nicely. So it's basically your link to the latest thing that's happening at the conference.
Yeah.
You had an idea about Octobuy.
Well, I did. I thought, well, often in an event, you've got people that will turn up, but actually a lot of people you don't know whether they're going to turn up or not. And then there's always a few sort of people who you're not expecting to also turn up.
You've sent off for these, but you've done all these. But if you're running an event, you might not know until the last minute who's going to arrive. So you couldn't pre-do these.
Especially when they take 8 days to order.
Moo.
Lovingly made. Lovingly made.
Where's your next day delivery? Anyway, but so you might want to just have, instead of the names of the people, you might want like fictional characters or a pink octopus.
A pink octopus, a grey buffalo, a saber-toothed tiger.
So you could have 500 different, so you could have 100 different creatures and 5 different colours of those creatures. So even though you've got 500 of these cards, that each of them are unique.
Yeah.
And then you could go around the event collecting evidence, collecting achievements, whatever it is. And then if you could stay anonymous if you wanted to, because you're just being a pink octopus. But then at the end of it, how could you...
Well, you could incentivize people to essentially reveal who they are.
Oh, by putting their email address.
But by connecting it to their
their profile.
self. Yeah,
right.
Their real
So all of a sudden, I am not a pink octopus, I am...
Doug Belshaw.
Indeed. So number 4, events. Number 5.
Apps and maps.
Why are we putting these two together? They're 2 completely separate things. That's crazy. Are you saying that we're only doing this to avoid having 6 because we want an odd number because odd numbers are better?
No, apps and maps, Ryan.
Oh. So imagine that you've got an app in the App Store, and let's say it's called something super obvious like Whiteboard or Central or something where it's a fairly generic name. And if you search Google for it or DuckDuckGo, you're going to come up with so many results, you're never going to find it.
So just go to the App Store, type in Central, and it's number 7 on the list. At least it usually is for me. Well, but and you need to look out for the rubbish instructions, right?
So if you just went like, boop, oh, there it is in the App Store, download.
Exactly.
That would work really well.
And it's quite like Maps, isn't it? Because Maps, you end up you're fiddling with your phone and then ending up going to a desktop where they've just got proper keys, and you can put in a postcode and actually find, that's where it is, and that,
So I've got a bit of a
footer
chip on my shoulder about directions, right? As a man, people like almost bamboozling you with directions. So, you arrive somewhere and someone say, oh, did you take the A694327 because that's the best way through? Sometimes the traffic... don't understand what you're talking about. Oh yeah, you know where it is. It's behind the red line, down the street, behind the lamppost. You'll see a squirrel, and then it's just. And you're like, what are you talking about? So if it was just, it's here, boop. All right, okay, take me there, boom. On City Mapper or Google Maps or whatever it's going to be, that would work really well.
It would. Apps and maps.
If you've got some ideas of how to take the physical and make it digital, what should people do?
They should probably send us those ideas because we like thinking about those sort of things, don't we?
Yes. So Brian is Brian M. Mothers on Twitter.
And Doug is DAJ Belshaw on Twitter.
And if you want to get in touch with moo.com, we're not affiliated with them, but I'm sure they would like feedback. And they're just at moo, M-O-O.
Yeah.
So, yeah, send us your ideas. And we're going to think about badges, actually, open badges with NFC-enabled business cards. That, my friend, is the future.
That is the future.